Guys, it's me, Jason Dweezvids. This video is about generational problems. Now, if we had allowed the younger generations to advance easier in life, there would have been better chances and better opportunities. Sorry about the whole clearing the throat thing, but it's kind of needed right now. But like I was saying, my generation couldn't get anything done because the older generation think, oh, they're immature, they always get in trouble. My generation could have achieved way more than what we were initially wanting to achieve. But yet the whole thing about the spending and the poverty and like advancing in job recruiting techniques and with that, it's hard to even imagine that in the workplace, people such as myself couldn't get anything done. We had dreams to make it big. We had like a lot of goals that were not met due to constant societal changes. And it's hard. It is genuinely hard. I mean, I'm just sick and tired of every single person like, how many kids wanted to become just like their idols? I doubt that any older generation could ever answer that. It takes, it takes understanding your kids way better than what you would be able to understand them initially early on. And for the employers, they gotta understand this. The newer generations are not easily replaced. Like some of us newer generation individuals don't give two pieces of monkey shit. Not all of us gave two pieces of monkey shit about getting employed or staying employed or keeping a job or anything like that, because us newer generation individuals, we just don't give a shit anymore. Plain and fucking simple. Some of us are fucking tired of the illusion of work hard, achieve your dreams through hard work and determination. That illusion is getting cracked. We millennials found out the hard way when we were growing up. The 9/11 era. The great financial crash of 2008. Every other year since had been placated with crap. It's hard. Absolutely hard. No one wants no one who is of the young generations wants to work. It's hard to get employment when all the older guard jobs are all the way over there, overseas, in China, and the American-born ones that are still here are just a flash in the pan. We know this for a fact. It's not easy. It's never easy. Some of us millennials were just working to collect a fucking paycheck. Not to give two shits about the fucking boss, the fucking placating bullshit that the boss puts us on. We were just there collecting a paycheck, not having to do with constant mamby-pamby bullshit. Like, seriously, we have issues spanning back to the early 80s. The older millennials were getting jobs and holding them for a time, and then the younger millennials started coming up and holding a job for a time, and it's not easy. It's not easy. And I feel in my heart of hearts this is bad. How can we have our Gen Z children and Gen Alpha grandchildren be expected to work when it was all bad? You can't just run around just moving your business overseas like that. At least warn the future generations that you're gonna move your fucking company at least 2 or 3 fucking decades, maybe 4 decades down the road. Warn them about your plot to move operations overseas before the millennials become adults. Before Gen Z is even born. Before Alpha is even born. And what are the futuristic generation going to do, huh? Their millennial their millennial great-grandparents wound up out of work during the lifetime of their grandparents, the Zoomers, and during the the lifetime of their parents, the Alpha generation? Because the job market continues to increasingly get so fucking stupid. So fuck-face stupid. Out here. Every single Tom, Dick, and Harry. Mary and Sally and Sue. Kate and Kyle. Not able to get a job out there. Because those legacy and older guard businesses and corporations and companies moved to China during the lifetime of the Gen X generation, which is the Zoomers, grandparents. How many millennials weren't able to get factory jobs, get warehousing jobs to live off of that? It's not easy. How many millennials were left jobless? The true lost generation, or the lost era, has begun during my lifetime. The lost era. I mean, how many of us young kids of the 80s, of the 90s generation that wasn't promised a good, steady fucking job when we got older? That is poppycock and bullshit. Like, how many of us young people were forced to placate our rights to work as a means of survival, all because some idiots moved their big old huge family owned corporate dominated companies and factories and warehouses to China. Because the politicians allowed it. The politicians of the time allowed it. And the politicians ever since, every year, or every 4 years, continue to allow our American companies to operate their businesses in China. It's hard. Really, 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 really hard to have a way, if you will, to get paid, keep a fucking job, putting like placating and also like seriously, we have a lot of kids who grew up poor. Like I grew up poor. I grew up poor myself. Because the fact is, I'm not the kind of person who grew up rich with a fat ass bank account slash a fat ass trust fund waiting to be dipped into once in a while as I got older. No! No! I didn't have that when I was a kid. I didn't have that growing up. But those who live in gated communities that are uber fucking rich, they have everything handed to them. Literally. They grew up that way. It's not my fault that I grew up poor. I should not be held accountable for growing up poor. I was up to fucking poor when I was a kid. I was coasting by, living life, and then bam! As soon as I hit, like, what? 13, and then shit started getting worse. Started getting bad. Placating the fact that the older generations screwed us. Absolutely screwed us. Because they refused to keep a job. Or the employers refused to keep their company doors open. And the only job prospect that is available for individuals like me is manual fucking construction fucking labor. It's not right. My ambitious generation, our ambitions being taken as a fucking joke by the older generations that refuse to fucking open the fucking doors, pave the fucking way for the newer generations to come up, make it much easier for my generation, the Zoomers and the Alphas, to get ahead. How many of us of the Lost Era like how many of us were removed, once removed from like the ability to have our work at our finger, like into our fingertips, in our grasp. Like, seriously, I wanted to have a way to have a way like, seriously, how many of the young people were kept out of work? How many of us were the ones who lost a lot of hope and happiness? We would have been happy getting premium paychecks for doing like all the work, come home, spend time with the kids. But no, my generation had to be called lazy, entitled, spoiled, all because the older generation did not see the bigger picture. All because they didn't see the bigger picture of the problems they were lobbying for our newer generations. The millennials, the Zoomers, the Alphas, and the futuristic generation, or the newer generations. Though some of us millennials are getting older pretty quick. If we hadn't had parents that worked in the like forms of media, that would have opened up a whole colossal amount of doors for my generation. But every single person like, seriously,
St. Valentine's Day.
like, I would see that the 9/11 thing, and then there was that new millennium pandemic that hit a year prior, on top of the Y2K scare incident of 2000. Like, I saw a lot of things go down. The market crash of 2008, that was a thing. And the placation of said Like, there was a said standard. A said standard. Like a said standard of what millennials should have expected. And how the older generations think, oh, well, we should not let the young puppies, the young little eensy weensy newborn baby puppies, run the corporate world. We should make it a little bit harder for them to achieve their goals. Like, do you, the older generation, really think that keeping us from achieving our dreams was a smart thing? I mean, my generation has grown up poor.
He ain't no gentleman, that
You're going down.
I mean, granted that I myself was growing up in a time where getting shit done was laughed at.
Shoot.
Like, how many kids
Going down.
expected to get jobs once they leave high school and middle school? Once they reach college age?
Stay down.
Like, seriously, we have no way of knowing what things to do to get our own little companies started. Like, some of us millennials are not, like, literally not able to placate the fact that we are not able to get a job. And it is the silent generation, the traditionalist generation, and the boomer generation, and the Gen X generation that caused all of it. And the silent generation was at fault for it too.
Okay.
All of the world wars that the young people were fucking forced into. We did not have a chance to achieve much more than what we would have liked to achieve. And I say this with strong, aggressive, totalitarian conviction that the older generations are at fault for it. Sure, occasionally there was a good old person that was all about helping the young kids get ahead. But those individuals were so few in between, sporadically and sparse and sprinkled every now and then in this world. And how many old people actually was the sole person responsible for a young person's success? For a young kid to become a billionaire by the time the young pup hit 35 years old. Because superiorly, totalitarianly good-natured old people placated themselves to being good enough to help. Like, seriously. And the workplace deaths. There's been a lot of workplace deaths in the construction business. And every single generation after the Gen X generation have been fighting a one-man fucking battle to survive in this day and age. Because the older generations want to move their companies overseas to China. Give me a fucking break. And given those opportunities, that would have gone to the local homegrown, homebound youth of this country, but amplified the paychecks. Those jobs would have gone to us. We would have loved wearing what one another made. We would have loved working in those kinds of jobs. But the economy was so fucked up because older generations wanted to move their companies to the very country that caused COVID 3 fucking decades later. 3 to 4 fucking decades later. It took up until 2018 for China to screw the world. And this is a fact. It explains why I can't get a job putting my creativity skills to good use to make me money. To make me good money. Because the older generations lobbied to move their operations, opening up their operations overseas. and discontinuing their operations here where they came from. And that is a fact. But enough about that. If you enjoyed and if you liked this video, leave a like, comment, subscribe, share the video, and turn on notifications and show the channel some love. If you like what I do and you like my content, be sure to drop a like, turn on notifications, subscribe, and like the videos, and check out more content in the future. This has been Jason DeWeese Vids, over and out, and I'll see you guys in the next video.